Hello, Alabama. Lawson almost left Bama? That was a big risk for the roster. Did you know that? Let's break it down. The 2024 Alabama Crimson Tide season brought with it a number of challenges, but few moments were as crucial as Deontay Lawson's decision about his football future. The linebacker, who had established himself as an indispensable piece of Alabama's defense, faced a dilemma: move on to the NFL or return to the Crimson Tide while recovering from a significant anterior cruciate ligament (ACL) injury. The choice was not simple, and the scenario seemed to be leaning toward a possible departure for Lawson, either to the professional game or even to another college program. Yet, against all odds, he decided to remain in Tuscaloosa, a decision that surprised many outside observers but reflects the exceptional work of Kalen DeBoer and Kane Wommack. Defensive coordinator Kane Wommack, known for his tactical vision and ability to connect with players, revealed fascinating details about how Lawson has handled his rehab. During an interview with WNSP 105.5 FM and mobile, Wommack was full of praise for the linebacker. "He's further along than most people are at this stage of his rehab," he said. "I'm excited to see him do more and more things this summer, and obviously as he gets into fall camp and gets ready to get back on his feet." That statement not only illustrates Lawson's commitment to his recovery, but also highlights the crucial role he will play in the 2025 season. For Wommack, Lawson is much more than a talented player. "He's one of my favorite players I've ever coached." That admiration goes beyond his impressive stats: 76 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, 2 sacks and 4 pass breakups in 2024, and extends to his on-field intelligence, his ability to anticipate and diagnose situations, and his natural leadership that makes him my voice on the field. Lawson's decision was not one he made lightly. After suffering a devastating season-ending injury against Oklahoma, questions arose about what his next career move would be. Wommack explained that even though he was a cornerstone of the team and a permanent captain along with Malachi Moore, Jalen Milroe, and Tyler Booker, Lawson's choice to stay at Alabama was not a given. "I think it was a very tough decision and one that we didn't want to overstep because I wanted him to do what he felt he wanted to do in terms of staying or going to the NFL," Wommack said. That respectful, player-centered approach was key to ensuring Lawson felt supported, regardless of which path he chose. With the benefit of hindsight, it's clear that Lawson made the right choice. Wommack was adamant that Lawson's continued presence with the program will provide him with an opportunity to maximize his potential and increase his chances of success both in college and in his future career aspirations. In hindsight, he made the right decision, and I'm excited and focused on doing everything I can to maximize his opportunities this past season, the defensive coordinator said. Those words not only demonstrate Wommack's confidence in Lawson, but also reinforce the importance of his presence on the roster. But what makes Deontay Lawson so essential to Alabama? In addition to his physical and mental abilities, he embodies the leadership spirit that Kalen DeBoer and his staff have sought to cultivate since his arrival to the program. As one of the team's permanent captains, Lawson is a central figure in building the culture that Alabama seeks to foster, a blend of competitiveness, resilience, and teamwork. His presence in the locker room and on the field inspires his teammates, while his experience and instincts allow him to serve as a true defensive leader. In addition, Lawson's decision to remain at Alabama sends a powerful signal to the rest of the players. In an environment where loyalty is often tested by the NFL call or transfer opportunities, his choice to continue wearing the Crimson Tide uniform sends a clear message. This is a program that values its players, invests in their development, and supports them in critical moments. This history only reinforces the ability of Kalen DeBoer and Kane Wommack to keep the roster united and motivated. Let's keep going. Alabama has accomplished something that feels like a feat worth noting. So far, no players have left the transfer portal this spring. That's notable because we're talking about an era in which athletes have unprecedented freedom to pursue new paths, often driven by personal frustrations or ambitions. But in Tuscaloosa, Coach Kalen DeBoer has proven that his leadership doesn't just deliver wins on the field, it also keeps the roster stable and motivated. The 2024 season was a challenging one for Alabama, with a 9-3 record that left many fans wanting more. Yet the transition within the program since then has been nothing short of impressive. After losing more than 20 players to the transfer portal at the end of last season, the Crimson Tide has responded smartly, adding 10 experienced transfers and building a robust 2025 recruiting class with more than 20 promising prospects. This strategy has given the team not only numbers, but also depth, exactly what was lacking at crucial moments last season. But as college football veterans know, depth can be both a blessing and a curse. When the competition inside the team intensifies, some players may feel like their chances are compromised and decide to pursue other opportunities. But in this case, that simply didn't happen. The secret behind this stability? Defensive coordinator Kane Womack credits much of the success to Kalen DeBoer's proactive, relational approach. "He does a tremendous job," Womack said during an interview with WNSP Selects Radio. "Kalen is very engaging, very relatable with people. He understands the business side of this game, but he also keeps the main thing the main thing." That quote perfectly captures the philosophy DeBoer has adopted since taking over at Alabama. He doesn't just manage talent, he manages expectations, creates genuine connections and ensures that each player feels valued within the group. In a sport where egos often clash and individual interests can overshadow the collective goal, that skill is rare and valuable. Womack also emphasized that DeBoer has been able to keep every player engaged, regardless of their position on the depth chart. "People think you have to go after your own interests or sacrifice everything for the team," he explained. "But the truth is, rising tides lift all boats. For us, it's about keeping that mindset for these guys. Everyone wants our starters, but they also want our second and third string players, and I think Kalen has done a really tremendous job managing that to get these guys to buy into the team and understand how it helps them as individuals. It's a balanced approach that combines competitiveness with inclusion, and it's worked wonders so far." What's more, DeBoer's work extends beyond casual locker room chats. The coach and his staff have been meticulous in anticipating potential issues. After spring practice ends, when depth charts begin to take shape, coaches know that any changes could directly impact roster dynamics. "You're paying attention to that because some of those changes could change the way you look at your depth chart," Womack said. "I'm looking at how we're going to build our roster. I'm looking at how many snaps do I think this guy can play against Florida State or South Carolina in the middle of the season. Those are the questions you should be asking yourself." To avoid unpleasant surprises, DeBoer and his staff have held numerous meetings with players and their families, as well as maintained contact with outside representatives, ensuring that everyone is aligned and aware of their role in the larger project. That level of transparent and intentional communication has been key in preventing abrupt departures. "We've had numerous meetings with players and reached out to their families and representatives and everything to make sure that we're all on the same page and that we're not surprised by anything," Womack added. So far, the strategy has worked. Alabama is in a great position, having not lost any players to the transfer portal, even with the spring transfer window approaching its end on April 25th. Can they surprise this year? Let's wait and see. The news that former Alabama Crimson Tide offensive lineman T.J. Ferguson has returned to the transfer portal has brought back memories of his time in Tuscaloosa and raised questions about the impact of his decision on the broader college football landscape. Ferguson, known as Terrence Ferguson II during his time at Alabama, is a household name to Crimson Tide fans, but his journey since leaving the program has been marked by ups and downs, reflecting the complexities of the modern college sports world. After 3 seasons in Tuscaloosa, Ferguson opted to transfer to Florida State in 2024, seeking another opportunity to cement his role as a starter. During his lone season with the Seminoles, he demonstrated versatility and resilience, appearing in 11 games and starting 7 of them. That experience was crucial to his development as a player, but it apparently wasn't enough to ensure he stays in Tallahassee. Now, with the decision to return to the transfer portal, Ferguson is once again looking for a new destination to continue his college career. Ferguson's return to the transfer portal is noteworthy for several reasons. First, he represents an interesting piece on the transfer market, a redshirt senior with experience at two prestigious programs, plus an impressive physique that makes him an attractive option for teams looking for depth on the offensive line. However, his brief stint at Alabama also raises questions about how his career might have turned out differently had he been given more opportunities in Tuscaloosa. During his 3 seasons with the Crimson Tide, Ferguson has seen limited action. In 2021, he maintained his status as a redshirt freshman by playing in just 1 game. In 2022, he appeared in 5 games as a reserve but did not assume a prominent role. It was only in 2023, his final season at Alabama, that he managed to start a game against South Florida among 5 games played. That stint as a starter, though brief, may have been a glimpse of the potential Ferguson still carries within him. For Alabama, Ferguson's departure in 2024 was part of a larger trend that saw more than 20 players leave the program after the 2023 season. Coach Kalen DeBoer and his staff faced the challenge of rebuilding the roster, bringing in new pieces while trying to maintain the winning essence that defines the Crimson Tide. While Ferguson has not been a central piece of the team's strategy in recent years, his departure highlighted the importance of managing expectations well for players who are not immediately at the top of the depth chart. Now that Ferguson is back in the transfer portal, other programs will have a chance to evaluate whether he can be a valuable addition to their offensive lines. His experience on 2 of college football's biggest stages, Alabama and Florida State, will certainly be seen as an advantage. Additionally, his ability to adapt to different systems and team cultures could be indicative of his versatility and resilience. However, the situation also serves as a reminder of the pressures college players face in an increasingly competitive, results-driven system. For many athletes, the decision to transfer or stay with a program is influenced by a combination of factors, including the desire for more playing time, the search for a better cultural fit, and even considerations about their professional future. Ferguson, in this sense, is a clear example of how decisions made throughout a player's career can shape their path. Does he regret leaving Bama? It's hard to say. Let me know what you think.